This is the listen and play video for Perpetual Motion for viola. We're in the key of D. So I'm going to do this, a lot of it, this 4 notes at a time. So think about what happens. Where do we step? Where do we repeat? Do we skip? Do we go up? Do we go down? After you get that and you've played it a few times, then try the next one. So if you have a hard time figuring out what note we're starting on, think about the activity video and listen to the notes that were played at the beginning and notice what's the same. Make sure you get that part down before you add the next part. And then adding a bit more. That new section was one of our preparations. Here's that section again. Then I'll add another note. Get that note. Starting on this part. So make sure you've got the first 2 bars of perpetual motion before you go on. Here's those first 2 bars again. Now, after you've got those first 2 bars, we're at 2.5 minutes in. The next 2 bars of the A section are the same except for the last 2 notes. And then put those 2 parts together to make the entire A section. Then we're going to start the B section. It's 3 minutes, 17 seconds in. And so if you think about what key we're in, it might help you find the first note of the B section. We also did have at least one piece that started on that pitch. So think about what happens there. In some ways, it's kind of the reverse of what happened in the A section. Make sure you get those 4 notes. Then we'll add on. So make sure you've got those 8 notes. Play those again. Then we have another sequence. So from the beginning, and then we'll add another note or 2. So think about what happens through there. Are we going up or down? Does it step or does it skip? so when you get those two measures down, really have those solid, make sure you've got the A section solid. The other half of the B section is very similar. We just have the last two notes are different. Then if we put it together and play the whole B section, now make sure you can play both the A and the B section. So it's about 6 minutes, 35 seconds in, and we're going to start the C section. The C section is harder a lot of times. It has more skips in it, and people find it a little bit more confusing. So first find just the first note. If you think about that, the notes in that D major chord, it might help you find this note. Adding another note. Adding the next note. So make sure you get that part together. If you think about the sequences, we have another sequence coming up next. So find that next note. So make sure you've got that measure really solid before moving on. We're approaching 8 minutes. This was in our preparation, sort of. Actually, I guess it wasn't. You want to use your fourth finger there. And then if you think about it, what do we do after that part? We started climbing, and then what happens? We just keep climbing. So we get to the top, and then we repeat the top note. So here's the first part of the C section. Make sure you've got that really solid, and then it's just the same thing over again. Here's the complete C section. And then after that comes back the A section. So at this point, you know all of Perpetual Motion. except then there's a variation. So hopefully you listened this far. And the variation is starting about 11 minutes in, just before 11 minutes. And what we do with the variation, instead of playing 8th notes, we play 16th notes. Our fingers are going the same speed, but our bow is going twice for each finger and twice as fast as it was before. Some people have a really easy time with this, and some people have a really hard time with this. So some people will get it right away and this will be the simplest thing ever, and other people you will need to go back to the beginning of the video and double everything to figure out how it works. So we just play each note twice. I like to finish with all the notes at the end. A lot of people just hold it. They'll come back. But they'll slow it down. I don't think I did that right. So enjoy playing Perpetual Motion and figuring it out. Perpetual Motion is a really fun piece to play. And have a great time figuring this out.